This episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Movement Watches. We get it. Holiday shopping can be tough, but thanks to Movement Watches, all that gift-giving anxiety can disappear with the press of a button. The holiday shopping season's here, and with Movement, you can skip the crowds and standing in crazy lines at the mall and finally find a gift that all of the people you love will love at prices that beat the department stores. These watches make the perfect purchase for just about anyone in your life. Guy, girl, don't matter. And remember, they start at only $95. You can get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns by going to movementwatches.com/kinda. That's MVMTWATCHES.com/kinda. Now, it's time for you to step up your watch game. Go to movementwatches.com/kinda. Join the movement today. Topic 2 is the Game Awards 2016.
2 weeks away.
2 weeks away.
It seems like nominations got announced way earlier last year, doesn't it?
I thought so too.
Yeah.
I was trying to do a little research on last year's Gamescast of when we did this topic, the predictions, and it seemed like it was about 2 weeks away as well. So
I think that might have been us though, just us being lazy. Or getting closer to the show. But anyways, doesn't matter. Live show coming up.
Happening December 1st. At the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles. The event will be live streamed on a wide variety of platforms. You can expect where to find them pretty much everywhere. Set to begin at 8:30 p.m. for the pre-show, with the event itself at 9 p.m. We can expect to see some world premieres of some stuff.
World premiere.
Some awards will be given away. There'll probably be some musical segments of some sort. A panel of judges from 29 international publications selected the nominees for the Game Awards, including us. So that was really cool. Shout out to Jeff Keighley.
Thank you, Jeff Keighley, for recognizing Kind of Funny.
I was 1 of 20. I was looking through the list. I'm like, it's cool we made it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of other people that are like way bigger than us and way more important.
Don't tell anybody. People think we're a bigger deal than we are, so let them think it.
So, really cool. Then they also had 8 esports-focused outlets assist in the selection of winners for those things, which is a good call because
we all would have been like, I don't know.
Freaking give it to Team Infinity, whoever the hell they are. And then games had to be released commercially on or before November 24th, 2016 in order to be eligible. So that means no Final Fantasy 15, Dead Rising 4, or The Last Guardian. So what I want to do, go through the nominees and kind of give our predictions for what we think are going to win the Game Awards.
Sure.
So this isn't necessarily what we want to win. It's our predictions for what will win.
Okay. Do we want to decide what we want to win?
We can do that too.
Okay. Because I think we have to vote on these eventually, right? We nominated them as the pool of people, and now we still have to actually vote on what we're doing. And I don't think it's some kind of secret ballot initiative where we go, Jeff hasn't said, hey, you got to go into this booth here and punch the ticket.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We should probably do that now.
I'm going to go get a piece of paper.
Okay, cool. So for you guys that are interested, the nomination process was pretty simple. Each category, we got to nominate 5 different games or people or whatever. And we made a spreadsheet, Colin, Greg, and I, each put down what we thought was there or what we thought deserved to be there with our name next to it, and whatever all 3 of us had would be ranked 1 pick, 2 of us would be ranked 2 pick, 1 of us would be next, and go from there. There wasn't too much things that were in question. We agreed, I think, on most stuff. There was a couple scenarios where we had maybe 7 nominations for some categories, but we figured that stuff out pretty easily. Let's start with the big one. Game of the Year. For a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. Doom from id Software and Bethesda Softworks. Inside from Playdead. Overwatch from Blizzard Entertainment. Titanfall 2 by Respawn Entertainment.
Lol, come on.
And Uncharted 4, A Thief's End by Naughty Dog.
I would vote Uncharted 4 because it's the one I enjoyed the most on there. I would predict, I can easily see Uncharted doing it, but I would predict Inside.
Really?
I think Inside's that kind of that indie darling. I think Inside caught a lot of people off guard. I think, it's one of those where I know I wasn't happy with the ending, right? That's my only complaint with it. When we did that review, it was totally just like, it's awesome and this is great and the way it's timed out is amazing and the art style is great and I loved how it, like there's something super special about that. And I could see that catching enough judges off guard, if you will, that would take it. Because everyone it's the same problem with every sequel to an amazing thing. Everybody expects Uncharted 4 to be awesome, so Uncharted 4 was awesome. Now, granted, Inside's not, their first game go round, of course, is Playdead. But I think it was a step up enough that I think that could be a possible thing.
That's interesting. I mean, Inside's definitely in my top 3 games of the year. I don't think I'd vote it for number 1.
Again, I'm not voting it. I'm predicting. That's my prediction.
But even predicting, I mean, I can see that. That makes sense because a lot of the publications did love that game. I think my vote would be Overwatch. I think Overwatch is the game of the year. But
that's a really good point too.
In terms of those people voting for it, I don't know. I think it's between Overwatch and Inside, but I think Overwatch gets the nod on that. I don't think Uncharted gets it.
So you're predicting Overwatch?
Yes.
Colin.
I think Overwatch will win. I think that Inside is the best game of the year out of that list. So I would personally vote Inside, but I would assume that Overwatch will win. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this I'm sure we'll have many game of the year conversations later towards the end of the year. But for me, Overwatch is the game of the year overall. Like when you really think about it, like 2016, that game is the gift that keeps on giving. And while Uncharted 4, great, Overwatch is something new, even if that something new is just, it's another shooting game.
Sure.
It's but it's not just another shooting game. Like the cast of characters, the fan base, and the gameplay of it, that's going to be a game that people are playing for years to come.
I was going to say the community, I think, is a huge part of that and why that game is something special and different. Yeah.
And it was designed around having community, having cosplayers, and having like a story to it, and like a world that is ever evolving. And for a multiplayer only game, I think that it's really successful in having a story. I'd give it to Overwatch, but yeah, I mean, all these games are great. What else do we got there?
I put vote, but I mean, we don't have to decide on a vote if we're all split already.
Oh,
we can keep talking.
Yeah, we can keep talking.
Let's just do predictions. Let's do
do.
predictions. So right now, then, for Game of the Year, Game Awards, I predict Inside. You both predict Overwatch.
Yes,
and I think that's a pretty safe pick as well.
Best game direction. Recognizing a game studio for outstanding creative vision, game direction, and design.
It's an incredibly redundant category, by the way, since it's the same 5 studios that made these 5 games, isn't it?
Blizzard Entertainment for Overwatch. EA Dice for Battlefield 1.
Oh, okay, so that's different.
id Software for Doom. Naughty Dog for Uncharted 4. Respawn Entertainment for Titanfall 2.
So who's missing? Oh,
no
Playdead.
Inside. They didn't put Playdead in there.
Interesting.
What was their definition of game direction?
Recognizing a game studio for outstanding creative vision, game direction, and design. See, it's hard. Again, I'd give this to Overwatch for everything I just said. It's hard though because I think that Uncharted and Naughty Dog they're so amazing that it's kind of easy to look at them as those are good.
Yeah.
In the same way that I'd say that about things like Battlefield or Titanfall, where it's just like we expect it from it, so it's less impressive.
My thing is, I think Uncharted wins this one, and I think the voting populace, the answer is because they don't give it Game of the Year, but they can give it this. They tied together the whole series, they tied together how great it was, they played on your emotions from what happened in 1, 2, 3, and a little bit of Golden Abyss. They tied up so nicely. What an amazing ending! I think that's the way they get, and obviously the gameplay of Uncharted
is amazing.
Yeah,
it's. Uncharted has the most nominations by far out of any other game.
Yeah, but it's really going to, I think, clean up when you get lower into the thing, right? When you're talking about performances and stuff. Yeah. Colin, what is your prediction for game direction? I say Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog, I think, probably. Okay. I would vote for Playdead if they were nominated, but that's not here. I mean, I think Playdead is... I'm really surprised by that specifically because I think Inside is... leaps and bounds in design ahead of everything I played this year. And that's not an insult on the other great design games I played this year, but I was so astonished by how good Inside was that, it resonated with me with a lot more than another Uncharted game. And I'm not insulting them at all, but I didn't see anything in Uncharted 4 really where, on a personal level, where I'm like, this is leaps and bounds ahead of what they did with the trilogy. I don't think that there's anything there that's the case. But I do think that it will win. And that's, again, this is the confusing thing, is that I don't think they deserve to win. I just think that...
Well, this is our prediction.
Well, actually, out of that group, it would be between Blizzard and Naughty Dog, I think, for me. Clearly, Blizzard has the special sauce with whatever they're doing,
We got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are Blizz, Overwatch, we're Uncharted 4.
Yes, awesome.
Surprise, surprise.
Best Narrative. For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Firewatch from Campo Santo. Inside from Playdead. Mafia 3 from Hangar 13/2K Games. Oxenfree from Night School Studio. And Uncharted 4 from Naughty Dog.
I would say Inside. Tells an amazing story with no words, no text. And it leaves it open to interpretation, which I think is really cool too. I think it should win, and I think it will win. So that's my pick.
Okay.
This one's tough.
Because you got to be a betting man here.
Mm.
Well, that's how predictions work. You got to put your money on the line here. And so I think I want to go against my own personal beliefs. And I think Oxenfree has a shot here. Because I think, again, it's a game people are going to want to reward, but maybe not. I mean, obviously, it hasn't got a nod so far in the other categories. Yeah. But here it pops up, and it is this story that it's a game that, you know, I thought missed on certain levels. You want to replay again. You want to go back and make the other choices. You want to see how all of the threads come together in different ways and see the different endings and what happens if they end up together and what happens if they don't. And what happens if I say this in the dream state, ghost world or whatever. I think that's something that a lot of critics really fell in love with and I think spoke to a lot of people.
I want to just say here, I mean, we're kind of down the rabbit hole too far to go back now, but what is the value in predicting who's going to win as opposed to just saying who do you want to win? You know, this segment's gonna confuse people. I'm just throwing that out there right now.
Well, I feel like we're saying both of our answers as we go, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So,
yeah, okay.
Tim, what's your prediction?
I loved Firewatch. I loved its story, but it's not the best. It's between Inside and Uncharted for me. Uncharted, I'd say, is my favorite of it, but I'm gonna give it to Inside.
Okay.
I think it's deserved as well.
That's who you'd vote for as well?
Yeah.
That story is...
I mean, in narrative,
what a great game. Man.
Narrative, I would vote for Uncharted 4, personally.
Cool. Best art direction for outstanding creative and technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Abzu from Giant Squid and 505 Games. Firewatch from Campo Santo. Inside from Playdead. Overwatch from Blizzard and Uncharted 4 from Naughty Dog. This one for me is really hard because I wouldn't give it to Uncharted 4. Wouldn't give it to Abzu. Firewatch was one of those ones where it's like if you were to tell me like late last year that I wouldn't be voting for Firewatch for best art direction this year, I'd say you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because that game, all we knew about it was that its art was amazing, and even playing through it, like it definitely. All that stuff they fucking nail. But Inside, man. Inside and Overwatch. But again, like with Overwatch, I feel like they win the other ones more than this. But I give it to Inside.
See, I think
Inside wins.
I think it comes down to Inside versus Firewatch. And I think it's another situation of some people are going to be voting so much for Inside in other categories, they'd get here and go Firewatch.
Firewatch. Yeah.
I think it's between Inside and Uncharted. Because we're talking about art direction and all of that as well. I mean, Uncharted is a masterpiece in terms of the way it looks. But I think Inside is clearly the winner. In that respect, I mean, it's just so unique, it's so interesting. The animation, the thought into the way all the ways you die, all the ways you can interact with the world. There's nothing just animated. As I said when we were reviewing it or talking about it a lot when it came out, I just don't feel like anything there exists just to exist. And I think that's really cool, and a lot of that goes to the art direction. I think Inside's clearly the winner.
I think that piggybacking off what you said, the fact that animation is mentioned in this, I think is going to boost Inside a lot because the animation in that game is so next level.
Don't get me wrong. Again, I'm predicting Firewatch. My pick, if I was voting, would be Inside.
Cool.
And what are you predicting?
I'm going Inside.
You're predicting Inside, and that's where you'd come down personally, anyway.
Yes, both.
That's a unanimous win then, in terms of our votes for art direction.
Cool. Best music / sound design. It's an interesting category. For outstanding audio inclusive of score, original song, licensed soundtrack, and sound design. It's weird because it's like those are two totally different teams of people working on this stuff, but I get that like they're maybe not worth its own category otherwise. Battlefield 1 from DICE, Doom from id, Inside from Playdead, Res Infinite from Enhanced Games, or Thumper from Drool. Thumper was the one that I left off and I forgot about when we did our nominations. I would have definitely put that in there.
Whew.
Man, it's hard. Inside was very well sound designed, but I don't give it to it here.
I feel like Rez and Thumper are the games out there that shout sound to me. But then I also feel like did enough people play them to feel comfortable in it. Battlefield, of course, has the entire. Battlefield 1 has, of course, there's tank noises and VO and explosions and this and bullets whizzing past your head going for it as well.
But I think that when people think about this, they don't think about those things.
Sure.
You know, it's like when you're thinking about the winners of this, it's similar to your argument for Firewatch. Like people are going to think Firewatch because when you think art design, you don't think Uncharted, you think Firewatch. So when you think sound design, you think Rez. My thing is Thumper would win if more people played it. I don't know if enough people played it to get it. Doom is also, I think, an easy answer.
True.
Because it does have that sound aesthetic to it.
Right. Shit.
I would say Thumper probably. For
That's your prediction?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rez. Timmy?
Thumper's my vote. I'm gonna go Doom.
Okay. Next category.
Best performance. Awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and/or performance capture. Alex Hernandez as Lincoln Clay in Mafia 3. Sissy Jones as Delilah in Firewatch. Emily Rose as Elena in Uncharted 4. Nolan North as Nathan Drake in Uncharted 4. Rich Sommer as Henry in Firewatch. Or Troy Baker as Sam in Uncharted 4.
I think you give it to Nolan this year. Final Nathan Drake go around. It's the culmination of the Uncharted franchise. That means a lot. I don't know if it should necessarily in terms of performances. All these performances were great from what I saw. I think of the ones you listed, I think Lincoln Clay is the one I know the least from Mafia. But I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah.
I think Nolan does get a run for his money from the Firewatch cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only the thing going into this. I can see people voting for the Firewatch people because the Uncharted guys and lady have gotten talked about for many years.
But I'm trying to think back if Nolan North's ever won a performance game award before. Not that this is like the Oscars where there's like somebody doing deep stats on this stuff or whatever. Like there's a Leonardo DiCaprio. Colin, where are you weighing down on this one?
I think Drake wins. Nolan North. I think he should, and I think he will. That's kind of where I stand.
Tim Tam. The nation turns its eyes to you.
I'm down with that. That's solid to me.
Is that who you'd vote
I go
for
both for Nolan, yeah. Granted, I think all these people did amazing.
100%.
Except
100%.
I'm not familiar with Mafia 3, but besides that, all of these are great choices.
Next category.
What about you?
Timothy. Oh, yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Nolan.
I led with that. Nolan and Nolan, yeah.
Great. Games for Impact, honoring exemplary games that take on real-world issues and advocate for social change. 1979 Revolution Black Friday from Ink Stories. Blockhood from Plethora Project / Devolver Digital. Orwell from Osmotic Studio / Surprise Attack. Sea Hero Quest from Glitchers. And That Dragon Cancer from Numinos Games.
I have no idea.
Any of those.
Here's the thing is that before we vote, I want to make sure we go, and I mean, not here, before we vote really, and I'm pretty sure we have to vote still. I want to go back because the only one I've played is That Dragon Cancer. However, it's my prediction pick. I'm not going to make a vote, obviously. It's my prediction to win as well, based on the same thing that everyone knows about that game.
Yeah.
And not knows about it like maybe you know everything about it, but you should have heard about it. I mean, we did a Let's Play. It's of the Impact games here. It seems like the one with the biggest profile. There's the documentary about it or whatever, and it was on not This American Life, but one of those podcasts, not the Moth either, I forget. But there's been coverage about this. You understand that it's about this, father's journey through his son's cancer and how that all worked together. I think there's enough of that resonating that's going to win.
Cool. Yeah, I buy that too. Best independent game. For outstanding achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. Firewatch by Camposanto. Hyper Light Drifter from Heart Machine. Inside from Playdead. Stardew Valley from Concerned Ape. The Witness by Thekla Inc.
What is the thing again?
Indie.
Best independent game.
I hate that category.
Yep.
I mean, Inside.
Inside.
I think for both the game that will win and the game that should win.
I think my vote would be Inside. I worry about Stardew Valley coming on strong.
Or The Witness.
Or The Witness. That is a good point, too.
Both of those could win it, but I still give it to Inside. Unless Inside wins the other ones, though.
It's not going to matter because no one's going to know how the vote went. It's not like you're waiting for the answer to the first question before you answer the second question.
Sure, but you figure if you're voting and you get to this one and this is Stardew Valley's only time out there, you know how important that game was this year. Do you give it its one nod here?
I hope not. I hate if people vote like that. It's stupid. You know, if like 1 or 2 games sweep everything, then
they were the best games of the year. No, I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. But this is the fun. You're asking why are we predicting? I think this is the fun part of trying to get ahead of how it's going to go. I'm going to say Inside as well, though.
All right. Best mobile/handheld game. For the best game playable on mobile phones and dedicated gaming handhelds. Can you believe we've gotten to this point, Colin? Those are together. Clash Royale from Supercell. Fire Emblem Fates by Intelligent Systems. Monster Hunter Generations by Capcom. Pokemon Go by Niantic Labs. And Severed by Drinkbox Studios. I will say, I did not nominate Pokemon Sun and Moon because I hadn't played it yet. I think that game got fucked because of the timing of when it came out. It's too close to the cutoff date, and so it's not even there.
Personal pick here is Severed. I just want to get that out there in front. I think Severed's an amazing game. That's going to be, I think when we get to our Game of the Year stuff, it'll come up a little bit more than it comes up here. But it's sad that I don't think enough people played Severed to sit there and be like, yeah, no, that was something cool. That was something special. When's the last time you played a first-person dungeon crawler, right? That was really, really, really fun and enjoyable and as beautiful as this art was and just a different experience. I don't know. This is the big question, right? Like, what do you do with Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
It was an experience, a movement. It was everywhere. Normal people that don't play games are out there talking about it and playing it in the middle of the night, wandering around, doing gym battles, interacting with strangers. Like, there were these things. Does that overcome the fact that it was as popular as it was at the time? That popularity was a flash in the pan, and that it was broken as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I still give it to it. I give both my vote, and I think it wins to Pokemon Go. Fire Emblem Fates is definitely one of my favorite games of the year for sure. But despite that, I mean, Pokemon Go did something so different, and it did it well, even though it was broken. Despite it being broken, people still enjoyed it so much. And I think that it's the amount of people that enjoyed it, the amount that they did is a testament to the quality of the experience, less the game, but the game was just a means to the end. So I gave it to Pokemon Go.
Colin?
I think Severed should win, but I think that Pokemon Go will win. And perhaps deservedly.
Yeah, I'm putting Pokemon Go there too.
Best VR game. For the best game experience playable in virtual reality. Batman Arkham VR from Rocksteady Studios and Warner Bros. Interactive. Eve Valkyrie from CCP Games. Job Simulator from Alchemy Labs. Res Infinite from Enhanced Games. And Thumper from Drool.
Batman will win. I think that out of the games I've met, I mean, I like Batman. I think Job Simulator is awesome. I would give it to Job Simulator, but I think that that Batman's clearly going to win.
Out of these, I love Thumper's my favorite, but I think that my vote and what I think will win is Batman Arkham VR, because in terms of best experience, that's the one I want to show people for the first time. Like, that's the thing that I'm like, this is going to blow you away.
It's one of the, and that's the thing, you know, Res has that power too. And that's also like, not to disparage anything, a real game, like, right, where you're putting it on and you're playing and doing your movement, all that stuff. And it's also a callback to what it was. But yeah, Batman has been my one from the get-go. And I would think, that probably wins it. And again, I think that's the one that's what I would vote for.
Res was underwhelming to me.
Yeah.
Thumper was amazing. Like, I really love Thumper, but I don't think it wins out over Batman. Best action game. For the best game experience focused around first or third person combat. Battlefield 1, Doom, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, Titanfall 2.
I would pick Battlefield. I think Doom will win, which is totally reasonable. to me as well.
Yeah. For me, it would be Doom is going to win. I don't know if I have enough thoughts on these games because they're not ones that spoke to me, and I'm not, as we've talked about in this show many times, I'm not the shooter expert, so I don't know if I have a strong opinion either way.
I'd vote Overwatch, but Doom wins, I think.
Okay.
Best action adventure game for the best game experience that combines combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Dishonored 2, Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 4.
What are the? Can you name them again?
Dishonored 2,
Yeah.
Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted 4.
Uncharted will win. I think Ratchet probably should win since we're talking about the action portion of the game. I just don't. If we're emphasizing the action, I mean Ratchet and Clank.
Action adventure.
I know, but I hate that term. The term doesn't mean anything. Like, every game's an adventure. I mean, an adventure game is something specific. I don't like that term in terms of action. It's I think Ratchet and Clank is mechanically the better game. I'm not really playing Uncharted for its action.
Well, so with that, like the last topic was best action game, which is for the best game experience focused around first or third person combat, which Ratchet kind of falls into, and best action adventure is for the best game experience that combines combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
I guess maybe Uncharted then would have to win that one. I would say Uncharted will win and should win, based on that nomenclature.
Yeah, I'm Uncharted 4 and Uncharted 4.
Me too.
Okay.
God damn, I love Ratchet though.
Ratchet, well, it gets nominated again coming
here.
up. It's getting another nod. Chance
five.
at it here.
Okay, cool. Best RPG, the best game design for rich player character customization and progression, both offline and online, including massively multiplayer. Dark Souls 3, Deus Ex: Mankind Divided, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt, Blood and Wine, World of Warcraft Legion, or Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I didn't play any of these, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah, I can't.
Give me.
Myself.
I'm sorry. What was the first two again?
Dark Souls 3,
Yeah,
Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
gotcha. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I'm just guessing who's gonna win, obviously, since I didn't get into the weeds on these
Yeah.
games. Nick's played a lot of the Deus Ex. I think Dark Souls 3.
I think Dark Souls
this is where
3.
you give it a chance.
Like, you got to give Dark Souls something.
Yeah, I think Dark Souls will win. I don't have I don't know because I didn't play any of them.
Interesting to see the Witcher expansion on there. Cool. Not against it.
Yeah.
It was definitely media, I know.
Best fighting game for a game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. Killer Instinct Season 3, The King of Fighters 14, Pokken Tournament, or Street Fighter 5. Don't got much to add here.
Yeah, no, I don't
I
know.
would vote Pokken. Enjoyed it a lot.
Is that who you think is going to win?
In terms of who wins, fuck, I don't even know.
Yeah,
this is kind of a...
Yeah, if there's enough fighting game dorks on there.
Um,
I'm just kidding. Don't get mad, Momo.
I mean, it can't be Street Fighter 5.
It seems like Killer Instinct would be the one that would win on that list. King of Fighters, I don't think people are really that warm about. I remember Vince saying that it's like every other game people like.
I'm going to vote Pokken.
You're saying Pokken?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. What'd you say, Cole?
I think Killer Instinct wins.
Okay.
That's the only game on that list that has pretty much universal praise as far as I'm concerned. So, and that people actually play.
Yeah, my only reason I'd vote for Pokken is I think that is a game that even people that aren't fighting game fans did play, like to review and to talk about. So maybe that gets some sort of nod. Best strategy game, best game focused on real-time or turn-based strategy. Civ 6, Fire Emblem Fates, The Banner Saga 2, Total War Warhammer, or XCOM 2.
I didn't play enough of them. I would just vote Civ 6 because that's the only one I played, and I love Civilization. I think XCOM will win. Because there's so many nerds that love XCOM out there. Goddamn nerds.
See, I think, don't get me wrong, those are the two that I see actually going head to head with. I'm going to say Civ wins. And I think that based on what I know from, and I liked XCOM 1 a lot, and what I did for the background research for Civ when I did that interview series for 2K, I would vote for that too. It seems like they put a lot into that. And it's Civ.
Mm-hmm. I would vote for Fire Emblem Fates because I loved it, but I think that XCOM 2 wins.
Okay.
Best family game. Best game for family play, including toys to life, rhythm / music / dance, and other genres. Dragon Quest Builders, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, Pokemon Go, Ratchet and Clank, Skylanders, Imaginators.
This is where I think you give it to Ratchet. That's my vote.
My vote would be Pokemon Go, but I think you give it to Ratchet as well.
I think Pokemon Go will win, but I think that Ratchet should win.
You hanging in there?
Yeah.
Best sports/racing game for traditional and non-traditional sports and racing games. FIFA 17, Forza Horizon 3, MLB The Show 16, or NBA 2K17, or Pro Evolution Soccer.
NBA will win and should win.
Yep.
Just based on how I know people feel about all of those games. I know that some of those people love FIFA and all these games, but NBA 2K is considered a pretty immaculate sports franchise.
Agreed.
I'm with that too. Best multiplayer for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences. Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege.
Can you give it to me one more time? Sorry, I was flipping my page.
Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, Rainbow Six Siege.
I think it's Overwatch, and I think I would have voted for Overcooked.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same.
me too. Most anticipated game, an upcoming game that has shown significant ambition and promise in moving the gaming medium forward. God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Mass Effect Andromeda, Red Dead 2, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I think Red Dead 2 wins this.
I'd be disappointed if some of these games like Mass Effect and Red Dead won, considering we haven't seen a fucking goddamn thing from them.
Remember last year, No Man's Sky won?
Yeah, which is absurd. I would give it to Horizon. And I think Horizon should win. Will it win? I don't know. People probably vote Red Dead. I don't know. You voting for that like based on like 2 seconds of footage. But yeah, I would give it to Horizon. We've seen the most of that game.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I think that's my personal vote. And I think Horizon actually has a really good shot at it. But I think it is the sticker shock of Red Dead.
I go Zelda for both.
Oh, okay.
Trending gamer. For a notable influencer, online streamer, or media personality in 2016. Angry Joe, Boogie2988, Danny O'Dwyer, Jacksepticeye, or Lyric.
My personal vote is Danny. And I love Boogie, and I enjoy Joe's content. And Jacksepticeye, also an awesome human being.
Yes.
I think Danny, my vote is Danny. My prediction is Danny. But it needs to be like it was for me, where no one else motivates their audience.
Yep.
That's the big thing. Whereas I don't know. We were in a special place last year, kind of funny, where we just broke down our own. We had all these headlines. So when I did it, it was still for our audience this thing of like, we're on the ground floor. A win for Greg, and kind of funny is a win for us. And I think what's interesting about this one is Danny's in a similar spot. I don't think he has the community like we have in terms of like the best friends are speaking to all these people. But I do think that everyone looks at him as like, holy shit, you left and you're not just kind of doing what you were doing before. I mean, he is, but he's doing something super special and unique in these documentaries. Even his Patreon's super unique, right? Of like, the money you're giving me is immediately going back into these projects, and we're going out and we're buying airplane tickets, and we're not using advertisers. We're not doing that. I think that message resonates in terms of the trend and what's different and who's made an impact.
Yes.
But I do think that if Jack wants to say, oh, hey, everybody vote for me, it's fucking over.
Exactly.
Because it's South by Southwest, like that last year when I was up for that other award, or this year, that was the first time I met Jack and really saw his audience, where, I was always funny where at Game Awards last year, I think people, even my friends that I was meeting there, were like, oh, cool, are you covering? I'm like, no, I'm nominated. I'm like, oh, who are you against? I'm like, oh, PewDiePie. And I was like, oh, well, it's cool just to be nominated. They didn't think I could win it. And then when I did win it, I was like, oh, that was awesome. And the crowd actually cheered for me. Like, I thought nobody would clap for me. They'd all be excited for the other guys. And then when we got to South by Southwest, when the pre-show was out there, they were like, I know you're all just here to see Jacksepticeye. And the place went fucking crazy. And I was like, uh-oh. These aren't our people. These are not my people. And sure enough, it was what I thought Game Awards was going to be, where they went through nominees. And when they got to Greg Miller, it was like, who? And I was like, all right, cool. And then I got up there and won. Everybody's like, what the fuck? Like, if Jack wants to, he could win.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think that Danny's my vote. And like you said, I love Boogie as well. But I think that for Danny to win, Danny needs all of you guys to go vote for him and to be motivated to do that. I think Danny has a really good thing going for him, that he has our audience and Giant Bomb's audience. And uniting both of those fronts to vote for him, I feel like we got a really good shot at that. I love Boogie, but I feel like we need to make a choice, and we need to support one person.
And again, to be clear on what we're talking about here, I think, I love Boogie too. Boogie's been one of our biggest supporters. Period.
Yeah.
Great dude. But Boogie's is doing the same thing in a way, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's the thing is like I was seeing a lot of feedback on the internet today. I was like, well, I don't even know who Danny is. He's not trending or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's not about that though. It's like he's doing something that should be. He is setting the trend. It's not trending in terms of like how popular you are. It's you are changing the trend of how gaming media is. Yeah. So our vote is definitely there. I hope your guys is as well. And the thing here, you were going up against Markiplier and PewDiePie, which those are like top dog dudes. Yeah. And that was always scary, but they never motivated their audience. Yeah. Jacksepticeye, a little worried about it. He is the type of guy that motivates.
Because Jack has an audience and talks to his audience, and that's a big thing. Yeah.
I think.
Do you think you're predicting Jack then? Who's your prediction? I love a good underdog story. That's why I got Danny's.
Yeah, I'm voting for Danny. I predict Jack because I do think that he will motivate them, but I hope that motivates you guys to prove me wrong. Because
Mr. Moriarty,
I think Boogie should win. I like him. I like Danny too, and I've heard good things about Joe. I don't know who the fuck the other two people are, and I'm sure that they're way bigger than us. So. So I'm not insulting anyone. I like Boogie. I think he's friendly. I think he tries to put a lot of positivity out there. I think he's kind of a unique gentleman, and I think he's paid his dues, and I think that Boogie should win. And I know personally he's had my back before, and I appreciate that as well. But who do I predict will win? I can't imagine Danny winning simply because I just know and cursorily kind of looking up these two last names, Lyric and Jacksepticeye, that they're huge people. Like, so again, it just like the reason, and we make fun of you, but it's true. The reason that you won over those other two people, that bigger people, is because they were just complacent, didn't care. Yeah. And so the second that one of these people cares, over. You know, because Danny doesn't have your poll. You know, so who do I don't know. I would defer to Tim on this, and if he says Jack's gonna win, then I would assume Jack will win too. But I just can't imagine that it's gonna be Danny, even though if I saw Danny win, I mean, he's a friend of ours, I would be totally happy with that. But I'm gonna say Boogie. I would support you. I would encourage people to vote for Boogie. He's just like.
Are we to the esports one now?
Nice guy.
No. So now, yeah, we're gonna a bunch of shit.
Not that the others aren't.
Just to run through, don't think we need to even really talk about these. Best fan creation. No. Yeah, it's like Project A2MR, Pokemon Uranium, Brutal Doom 64, or Andrew, the Shards of Order. Great, people really like them. Esports player, there's a whole bunch of people. Yeah, I can't. Although I do want to give a shout out to Hungrybox, who plays Smash Bros. He's fucking awesome. Best esports team, no idea. Best esports game, Counter-Strike, Global Offense, Dota 2, League of Legends, Overwatch, Street Fighter 5. Clearly, I think it's Overwatch.
Just drop a nuclear bomb on that list of games.
Whoa!
Just do it.
So there we go.
Do it!
And that's the Game Awards, December 1st.
Cool.
We will be doing a E3 style thing where we...
Pre-show, live reaction, post-show?
Yeah. And that should be fun.
It should be.
Excited to see what trailers are there.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's weird this year. Usually we kind of have an idea of what could be shown there.
Well, this will be the debut of Mass Effect gameplay. They said that already. And I say debut loosely because they should do stuff at E3, but it'll be a world premiere gameplay there. Yeah. It seems like with that, the Telltale, is it not Guardians thing? People were predicting that would be there, but I don't know if the game's affected by the strike and that's how it leaked. Is that something they want to promote yet, or they want to figure that all out? I don't know how that shakes out. And that's the other thing, too. If you haven't heard anything about Walking Dead Season 3 by then, I'd imagine that would be the one you'd come out because you debut the trailer then and it's available Tuesday or whatever.
Okay.